If you're someone who weighs over 200 pounds and you want to get into the 170s, here's exactly how to set up your training and nutrition. And if you're new here, my name is Jeff. I'm an online personal trainer and nutrition coach, and I help people lose fat in a non-bullshitty, non-douchebaggy fitness kind of way. You see, there's a lot of douchebags in the fitness space. There's a lot of people who are trying to take your money and give you the least amount of help, the least amount of service, and they don't actually understand the science. And that's where I come in. I'm here to teach you the science behind real results, real fat loss, because I've done it myself and I've also done it with hundreds of clients. This is my client Celine. She has lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for years now. And she's been super successful. And I want to show you exactly what you can achieve if you just apply the few things that I'm going to talk about in this video. So number one is going to be your calories. I'm going to set up your calories for you. Now, I want you to take your goal body weight, the weight that you would be at your absolute leanest. Now, when I say this, a lot of people are going to be like, well, I weigh 250 and I'd like to get into, I think 170, I'd be pretty lean. No, I'm talking the leanest you think that you could ever be. Like if you straight up did not have any fat on your body, what do you think you would weigh? Is it 130 pounds? Is it 150 pounds? Whatever that number is, I want you to take that number and multiply it by 11. I'm just doing some math real quick. So let's say it's 130. We're going to multiply that by 11. That's 1,430 calories. That's going to be the low end of your calorie range. What I want you to do now is take that 130 and multiply it by 12. That's going to give you 1,560. So this is going to be your range of calories that I want you to use. If you're hungry, I want you to eat on the higher end of that range. If you're not as hungry, I want you to eat on the lower end of that range. The lower end of that range is going to get you quicker results, and the higher end of that range is going to get you a little bit slower results, but you're still going to get amazing results either way. You want to be aiming for around 1 to 2 pounds of your body weight per week, or 1% of your body weight each week. So let's say you weigh 300 pounds, like you should be trying to lose around 2 to 3 pounds per week. But those numbers are not exact, and they're going to come down to your consistency and the few other things that I'm going to talk about here in a second. So the next thing I want to talk about is protein. Protein is super important because it's going to help you stay full in a calorie deficit, but it's also going to help you with the quality of your diet. So the less calories that you get from carbs and fats, the more calories that you can put towards protein. It's going to help you stay full. It's going to help you retain muscle mass while you're losing all this weight, and it's going to help you with your cravings and blood sugar. So this is super important because when you start to fuel your body properly with protein, you almost start to notice the effects instantly. It's a lot harder to overeat on chicken breasts than it is on like popcorn or something like that, or chips. And the reason for that is processed things like chips and candy and snacks and things like that, they don't keep you full. Certain processed foods have what's called a vanishing caloric density. Have you ever noticed when you eat something like pop chips, it feels like you could eat them nonstop, like you could eat an entire bag of them, and let's say 1,500 calories in one of those big bags, like you could eat one of those and not feel full at all. This is because of vanishing caloric density. You could not do the same thing with, like, let's say an apple or a chicken breast. These foods are going to fill you up for less calories, and they're actually going to keep you full long term. So it's important that you eat the right amount of food, the right amount of protein, the right amount of fiber. But as far as your protein goes, I want you to take that goal body weight and multiply it by 0.8. Okay, so let's say that 130, we're going to multiply that by 0.8. That gives us 104 grams of protein that you're trying to hit each and every day. So this is going to be a huge change from how you're probably eating. And so just think about adding protein in at each and every major meal that you have. So breakfast, Think about egg whites, think about Greek yogurt, think about cottage cheese. You know, lunch, think about a grilled chicken breast or steak or ground turkey, something like that. And for dinner time, same thing. Like, you want to think about shrimp, you want to think about chicken thighs, you want to think about, you know, seafood, things like this. And just eat the protein sources that you actually enjoy. Because if you're not enjoying the food that you're eating, I promise you, you're not going to stick with this diet for very long, and it's going to feel very arduous and just kind of like why am I even doing this to myself? So I want you to just stick with what feels good to you, the foods you enjoy, what's sustainable. But then I also want you to apply the 80-20 rule, which every now and then I want you to just have a meal that you don't track. Like once a week, I want you to just go and get your favorite burger with some fries and just fucking enjoy it. Like, just go sit down at your favorite smash burger restaurant and fully enjoy it. And don't be on your phone, don't be distracted. Like, just truly enjoy the food. And what you'll notice is, man, I enjoy this food a lot more when I'm not eating it every day or multiple times per week. But when I can save it up and it's like a treat for me, I enjoy it so much more. And this is what makes food amazing, is when you can enjoy it, right? This is why when people go on vacation, they don't track their calories. At least my clients don't. When they don't track their calories, they go on their vacation, they enjoy it, and then they get back on track when they get back, because traveling and vacation, part of the fun of that is trying new foods and experiencing new places. So the last thing you'd want to be is like trying to be on a diet while doing that. Okay. Now, number 3 is going to be your activity, and particularly your steps. Okay. I want you to get somewhere between 7,000 and 9,000 steps per day. Now, if you're getting 2,000 steps right now, try to just bump that up slowly over time. It's not important that you hit the ground running and try to get in as many steps as you possibly can. The more steps you can get in, the better. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to like triple your step count right off the bat. That's going to feel like very unsustainable. It's going to feel like a lot of work. So I just take your current step count wherever you're at, 3,000. Just add like 3,000 more on top of that. Okay. So if you're already getting 8,000, that's awesome. Try to get 10,000. If you're already getting 3,000, try to get 6,000. If you're already try to get to that 7 to 9K steps per day. And if you're already getting a decent amount of steps in per day, then I'm going to talk to you about the next section, which is going to be a bonus section. That's going to be strength training. Okay. Now, training is important because we want to not get skinny fat. When we lose all this weight, we don't want to have a bunch of loose skin. We don't want to just look like still fat when we take our clothes off, even though we're at a good body weight. We look good with clothes on, but when we take them off, we don't look like we actually lift. We don't look like we have that toned physique that we want. That's not ideal. So what we want to do is we want to build muscle in the process of losing fat. And you can do this when you're in a calorie deficit if you're in your newbie gains phase. Okay, so what this means is that we're gonna have you in the gym, okay, 3 times a week. You're gonna be on a push pull legs split. For your push day, you're gonna do some chest, some arms, some shoulders, and then for your pull day, you're gonna do some back and biceps and a little bit of abs. And on your leg day, you're gonna hit some quads, hamstrings, and glutes, and a little bit more abs. Okay, so it's going to be a really simple program. You can go into the gym, you can just make sure that you get in those lifts. It should take you about 30 to 45 minutes. If you need someone to design a program for you and hold you accountable to doing all the things, check out my email in the description. You can email me the word coaching, and I will basically see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one coaching program. Okay? All right. Any other questions? You can drop them down below in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.